Hey Sagittarius, welcome to your weekly forecast for May 11th through the 17th. We're going to see what's happening the week ahead with this lovely deck here. And then we're going to pull a spirit message for everybody with this deck here. So without further ado, my darlings, my Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising darlings, we're going to connect here and see what's coming up in the week ahead for you guys. Now, I feel like I need to shuffle 3 more times. 1, 2, and 3. Alrighty, let's do this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so, King of Coins. Hello, Sagittarius. So, this is a really positive, strong energy to have coming up in your reading for the week. King of Coins, it can indicate that there's some aspect of an earth sign person that you might be dealing with. I'm not going to cover love and romance in the weekly. I do love and romance separately in the monthly love readings. So we're going to look at this outside of the scope of love and romance. We're going to look at this in the other ways and meanings that this card is going to have for somebody. There could be a partnership or somebody who's helping you who's an earth sign. But also, more importantly than that, King of Coins has a very special meaning for me in my readings over the years. I've noticed it tends to come up when there is an opportunity, a financial opportunity, a work offer coming your way, that you're going to be very tempted to turn it down. You're going to be very tempted to say, oh, well, nah, that's too much, right? Like, or that sounds great. That sounds wonderful, but I'm not ready for that. I can't handle that. But the whole thing with King of Coins is, look, if you weren't ready for it, it wouldn't be here now. It's here now because you're ready for it. So you might hear back from a job, or you might have someone kind of helping you get your foot in the door somewhere, and you may be kind of second guessing yourself about it. But Spirit's like, look, Sagittarius, if you weren't ready for it, it wouldn't be here. Another meaning too here with the King of Coins is it can sometimes have to do with like kind of taking a look at what you have, like what you have that's accessible to you in terms of resources or finances, and finding a way of taking what you have and investing it into something to make something out of it, like to multiply those resources or those assets. So some of you might be looking into different kinds of investments. You might be educating yourself about money and how money works and how to kind of make it grow. You may be investing in some business idea for yourself. King of Coins can indicate, for example, I always give, and forgive me for using such a example, but you know, it's the best way that I can describe it, like from my own life, right? Like if you were going to do like a tarot business, like just by example, you were going to do tarot, right? Like in the beginning, I barely had money to get a set of cards. It was really, really hard times, but I scraped together the pennies that I had. I got my first deck. I had a crappy phone with a terrible camera, and I just started posting things on Facebook. And then people began booking readings, and then friends and people would come to me periodically. And then when I got paid for readings, I could take some of that money and I could get a new deck. And little by little, it became, oh, wow, okay, now I have enough money from readings where I can get a phone. Right? Like a better phone with a better camera. And then it became, oh, now I can get more decks. And then it became, oh, well, now I can get like an office space. So you might be starting small, but you're going to have the opportunity to build something with what's coming in. A lot of the times with business, people feel very stuck because they think, I have to find an investor. Like unless somebody comes in and invests, I don't know what I'm going to do. And so some of you might have someone coming in as an investor, but other ones of you are creating the income that you need step by step, right? Here in Los Angeles, we have Porto's. It's a very famous bakery, very, very successful. And it just started out with a lady, a house mom, a stay-at-home mom, who was just baking cakes for her neighbors, and they loved it, and it like word spread, right? And that little, bag of flour and bag of sugar and eggs and oil that she had turned into a few different locations, which are constantly when it's not quarantine or lockdown, constantly busy. Anytime you go, there's a crazy line, right? Making bank. And it just started with some flour and some sugar and some eggs, right? So you have resources available to you that you're going to be able to do something with it. So a lot of you are beginning to realize that, or you're beginning to see that, like, oh, I can actually do something with what I have, or I can find a way to invest it. I do feel, Sagittarius, for whatever reason, a lot of you are really focused on creating some kind of a passive income. So maybe some of you are thinking about, like, well, I'm going to be getting older. I can't work forever. So how can I have income coming in where, like, I can maybe take it easy? So again, a lot of you are getting smarter with what you have, and offers and ideas are coming up for you. Your next card here is the Death card. And I know this is a card that scares a lot of people. I'm not saying this as an optimist, and I'm not saying this because I'm a Scorpio and I'm not being biased, okay? I have seen the Death card come up for myself in readings and for clients that I've read for many, many years. Before something really positive happens. People get afraid when they see this card, but what they don't realize is that the meaning of the card, it's that Scorpio energy of the phoenix rising from the ashes. Okay, the phoenix rising from the ashes. So it's a new beginning. It's a new life. Yes, it's called death, but the card is actually about resurrection, or like a reincarnation of some kind, right? Something is ending and something new is being born. That's why typically in the Death card, you will see some kind of flower, like something new is coming up out of this. So if you have Scorpio in your chart, that aspect of you might really be kind of taking the wheel. Or some of you may be dealing with a Scorpio. But for the majority of you, Sagittarius, I feel like you're coming into a phase this week where you're really beginning to reinvent yourself, right? Like old Sagittarius is gone, and you're about to get to know the real Sagittarius, the new Sagittarius, Sagittarius 5.0, or whatever the case might be. Sometimes the Death card can also indicate ego death. So if you've been feeling, and I know ego death sounds scary, but it's actually a really good thing. If you've been feeling like, man, just nothing brings me joy. Like, I try to put on my music, it doesn't make me happy. I try to watch some TV shows, it doesn't make me happy. I try to call up some people and I just kind of dread talking to them. So you might feel like, nothing brings me joy. Really, what's happening, Sagittarius, is your taste is changing. Your vibration is shifting. You're coming into a higher vibration. So the things you used to enjoy, they're the old vibration, right? So you're going to maybe start exploring into new types of entertainment, new types of personalities to have conversations with, new kinds of, things to keep yourself busy with. So your taste may be changing because you're shifting. It's not that nothing brings you joy. It's just that the old stuff, you've outgrown it, right? Kind of like if any of you have experience with young kids, you can give them a toy and they'll be all into it. They'll be really excited about it. And then they outgrow it. And then they need something else. They need something more interesting or more complex to hold their attention, right? And that's kind of what happens sometimes with ego death. We need to upgrade. We need to upgrade to something else. So don't get too worried if you're feeling like, man, nothing's making me happy. Some of you might be just having this shift and you just need to explore and kind of sit and listen, like, what's going to make me feel better right now? Or what am I interested in? What do I want to know about? What am I curious about? And then start kind of exploring those things. The Death card also indicates the end of a phase or situation. So if a lot of you have had something that's been lingering for a while, you might be seeing that this week you're coming into a time where you're finally kind of able to put it behind you and be done with it. Okay? The next card here, my dears, is the Magician. Holy moly, you've got two really, really big major arcana cards coming in here back to back. So Those of you that you watch my readings, you will have heard me say when we have major arcana cards come up, even though I do weekly readings, this isn't just going to be for the week. Okay, this isn't just going to be for a few days or for the week. Anytime the major arcana cards come up, we're coming into a new chapter, right? So basically what Spirit is telling us here is that this week an old chapter ends and a new chapter begins. Okay, an old chapter ends, a new chapter begins. So the Magician is coming in to give us confirmation of the flower aspect of this card, that you're already in the new beginning. Okay, so this could also indicate Gemini. I know a lot of people get really hung up on the astrology of the cards, and even though I tell you guys that the weeklies aren't really necessarily meant for love and romance, I know some people like to watch it anyway and look at the cards themselves and be like, well, I'm going to turn into a love reading in my head. Well, you can do that if you want to do that. You're free to do that. But so this could be a Gemini in terms of family situations or friendships or partnerships or work situations. You could be dealing with a Gemini as well, or you may have a Gemini somewhere in your chart that's coming to the forefront. But the Magician overall is going to be a card of new beginnings. Now, what's really interesting to me is this snake is really jumping out at me, and this Joker. This Joker is really, really kind of jumping out at me. And so I feel with the Death card, Sagittarius, a part of this new beginning and the dice, you're taking a gamble in a new direction. And I feel a part of like what's dying, the aspect that's dying, is maybe people kind of see you as a jokester. Maybe you're like seen as like a class clown kind of personality. Or just somebody like who's here to party or whatever, but you might be stepping into your healing elements, right? Or shedding the old skin. If you're not doing something spiritually in terms of healing work, you're just maybe possibly healing yourself and shedding the old skin, shedding the old layer, and coming into this new direction. You might be changing also your kinds of humor. You might find old ways of humor kind of despicable, or I don't know why I heard the word despicable. It's not a word that I use in my vocabulary. I can't remember the last time in a conversation I used the word despicable, but that's what I heard. You might be finding old ways of humor kind of like repulsing or revolting to you, and you're evolving into a higher energy. Now, this is also jumping out at me. I'm not sure what it's meant to be, but it looks to me like balls that somebody would juggle. So I feel a lot of you are coming into various projects or various aspects of your life that you're taking on all at once. But like a juggler, you're going to make it seem so easy. You're going to make it look so effortless, right? Like you're going to find the flow, you're going to find the balance, you're going to find the order so that you're going to be able to keep everything going, okay? Magician also with the Death card, the combination together here can indicate that a lot of you are seeing through old paradigms, old illusions, like you're seeing the truth of situations. Some of you may even feel like you are coming into this energy or coming into this dynamic in terms of like I lost a train of thought. I'm so sorry. Something else caught my eye and it distracted me. It'll come back. If it's meant to come back, it'll come back. But let me go into what distracted me. So we have Scorpio energy here. We have a Gemini energy here. Some of you might actually have that combination. I know my moon is on a Gemini cusp. And I'm a sun sign Scorpio. So some of you may have Gemini or Scorpio aspects in your personality or in your chart. But if you think about this coming together, this is a very powerful combination, super powerful combination, because the Magician can be about seeing through an illusion, seeing the truth of a situation, and being able to create. Scorpio is also a very powerful, like seeing through the dark, you know, piercing through the veil, seeing through the BS kind of energy. So these two things together, Sagittarius, it makes me feel, regardless of what your planetary placements are, it makes me feel that you're coming into a really, really strong period of personal power in this phase, in the coming weeks, through the coming months, where like nobody's gonna be able to get one over you. Like you're gonna see through things immediately, and you're going to know how to handle it, and you're going to handle it with such slickness, such poise, such control, without things accelerating, without things getting out of hand. It's going to almost feel effortless to you. In fact, I feel a lot of you may be feeling Archangel Uriel or having him around you. If you've been feeling pulled towards like the orange and yellow color schemes, those are colors associated with Uriel. But he's very much here to help us with epiphanies and new ideas and overcoming obstacles quickly and effortlessly. That's the vibe that I'm getting from you guys, okay? Very, very powerful energy. Your next card here is 5 of Coins. So we talked about that, making something seem effortless, but we talked about, coming into new, like a few different things that you're going to be working on, like different irons in the fire, so to speak, that you're going to be juggling. 5 of Coins is going to indicate for some of you that you are experimenting with some level of self-employment. I know that's happening for a lot of people right now because of the economic situation. And so there can be uncertainty in this time. But 5 of Coins is like we're going out into the unknown, and we are finding our soul family, our soul tribe through that journey. It's kind of like you're just going on this path, on this adventure, and though it's an uncertain adventure and it's requiring you to be cautious and be alert and use your resources sparingly, you're going to find many rewards in that journey. You're going to discover a lot about yourself. You're going to find your true friends, your true soul family, and you're going to come into a lot of growth, right? And be able to build something. So a lot of you might be looking at current kind of situations or dynamics, and you're realizing that you want to have some kind of a career change, right? Like you don't want to go, everybody keeps talking about life going back to normal. And some of you Sagittarius, I feel like what the cards are saying is, as much as you can't wait like the rest of us, like anybody else, to have a sense of normalcy return to life, you don't necessarily, the more you think about it, you don't necessarily want to go back to your old life. You don't necessarily want to go back to the old job. Or, you might feel like, man, there's just friends I don't really feel like hanging out with anymore, even after this is over. You're wanting something new. So I feel like this is the energy, like you're preparing and you're taking steps, and you're going out on a limb here. So, and to say the least, yeah, it's uncertain. Anytime we're going in a new direction, it's very uncertain. It makes us feel vulnerable. We're coming out of our comfort zone, but with caution and wisdom and being conservative with our resources can really go a long way and ensure success. So we're going to go ahead and pull your spirit message for the week. And as always, my dears, I encourage you to watch your moon sign and rising sign videos. Some weeks those are going to resonate with you more than others, okay? And so that can be very helpful. And if you would like a private reading, you can schedule a private reading with me through the Calendly link. All right, Sagittarius. So here we are. It says Angel of Families. The angels surround both you and your family at the moment. So some of you might have some ideas around projects or career changes. Maybe you're wanting to relocate and you're wanting to leave your old life and start new somewhere else. And you might be feeling worried about your family, right? And so Spirit is saying, look, the angels and guides are with them and will be watching over them. Now, if you are, taking care of a family, say you have children, right? Like you have young children and you're a parent, Spirit is giving you confirmation and assurance that you are being helped, you are being guided, and that your family is being watched over. Okay, so some of you may have cares about your family, and this is coming up to give you some reassurance. Some of you just want a sense of family. We talked about soul family here with this five of coins. So some of you are like, is there a family out there for me? You're taking steps right now that are leading you in this direction to have that sense of family. Now, again, you might want to watch your moon, sun, and rising sign videos. You might want to watch the channeled angel messages for May or the love readings for May. Those are linked in the description of the video. If you want a private reading with me, you can schedule through Calendly. A lot of you have had some pretty complex astrology questions, and astrology is a very complex subject, my dears. I don't know if you guys are aware, but most people who are astrologers, they have studied the topic for years. It's such an immense, deep subject with many, many layers. And my understanding of astrology is super, super entry level, okay? I read intuitively. I'm an intuitive person. I read intuitively. So if you would like an intuitive message, an intuitive reading, card reading, you can go ahead and schedule with me through Calendly. If you want like deeper astrology stuff, you can check out the Truly Divine link in the link of the description of the video. I had a good experience with them when they reached out to me, and they've offered to continue to give you guys the unlimited, very generous 30% off their very already reasonable prices. Unlimited. You can get a birth chart analysis, relationship compatibility, forecast for the year, whatever you want. It's available there for you. So if you want more astrology stuff, you can definitely check that out. If you want an intuitive card reading, you can schedule with me through Calendly. If you liked the deck that I used this week, check out the love readings for May and last week's weekly forecasts. The deck I used is from the same artist. It's a different deck, but the same artist. And I'm giving away a brand new set of those cards. It comes with an altar cloth, a tarot bag, and a deck of cards, limited edition, that have never been used before. They're still wrapped in the plastic packaging, like you would be the first person to own and to use it. So if you're interested in winning the tarot deck, or if you're interested in winning a free 30-minute reading with me, you can do so by going to Amethyst Angellight on Facebook and Instagram, and I'm going to pick somebody from the comments and from the likes. So towards the end of the month, I'll pick one person from Facebook and one person from Instagram. One person will get the card deck, and one person will get the reading. And I'm going to give away a free reading every single month from now on after this, and some kind of a prize. There will be 2 winners every month from Instagram and Facebook. So be sure to check that out if you're not already on there. I thank you guys so much for watching, liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. And I'm wishing you a wonderful week, my dears. Take care.